Retro lunch break. Retro lunch break with Nick and Rick.
Yes, hello, welcome to Retro Lunch Break, the podcast, with your host Rick and my co-host here.
Hey everybody, this is Nick with my NPR voice.
I think you need to get closer to the mic if you're going to do your NPR voice.
Oh, really?
Which is not bad. It's
It
not
is.
bad. No, it's not bad, but I like it.
So today we'll be talking about general discussions and topics.
Nice. I like it. Keep it going. I like it. So this is Winging It, episode 1. This is just free form. There's no set list of what we're going to talk about. This is just us talking, just two dudes talking. And you may notice that it's only two of us as opposed to the usual three. Eddie, our additional co-host, is unfortunately unable to make it for this episode, but that's okay. Because this is Winging It.
We'll find out if it's okay.
Yeah, we're going to find out if it's okay.
All
because
right.
this is Winging It, episode 1. All right. So as I said, this is totally free form. So Nick, is there anything on the top of your head right now that you want to talk about anything?
Anything
Anything you want to talk about. Like, what's the... Okay.
Baby Yoda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you knew it was going to go there.
It. No, I didn't. I didn't. Okay.
My love for the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about now is the Mandalorian. Yeah. The name of the show is The Mandalorian?
It's called The Mandalorian, but it should just be called Baby Yoda Happy Hour.
Wait, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
1 second with a question here. What is a Mandalorian?
A Mandalorian is almost like a religious belief of people. So they're kind of like people who had lost their families and they get taken in by people and they can't show their faces, and it's weapons first. They're usually bounty hunters.
Are they bounty hunters?
Yes.
So
that's the profession they take up because it's a religion of weaponry, I believe.
So is it safe to say that all bounty hunters are Mandalorians?
No.
But all Mandalorians are bounty hunters.
It seems that way.
It seems that way.
From my understanding and what I've seen in the show, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's just a frame of mind. It's not like a species or a gender.
No, it's not a species or a gender. It's people, and they don't take off their helmets, so you don't know what they look like underneath.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did just find out last week's episode, which was episode 4, that he does take off his helmet to eat, but that's in private. The only time they remove their helmets are to eat, but no one else sees them.
And what about I remember in one of the games there was a bounty hunter that was a robot. Can a robot be a Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
No. Sorry, a robot cannot be a Mandalorian. A robot can be a bounty hunter. Just like so, there are different species that tend to be bounty hunters of their Greedo species. I don't know the name of the species, but Greedo's one. He's the one who's in the cantina with Han when he comes up to him.
Like a fly thing.
Yeah, like a green fly thing. And then there's Bosk, who looks like a dinosaur dog type thing. And what you're thinking of the robot is the IG series.
Yeah, thank you.
IG-88, and then
yes.
IG-11 is the one from The Mandalorian.
Okay.
So they're different versions of those kind of bounty hunter robots that were created.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so let's date this episode right now.
Yes.
So
episode 5 came out this morning.
Episode 5 came out this morning.
Yes.
Okay, so do you know how many episodes are going to be?
There's going to be 8 in the first season.
Oh, so it's almost nearing the end.
Yeah, it's Disney Plus is new.
Okay.
Sure, we'll spend some time talking about Disney Plus.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
we might because it's winging it.
Yeah. So it's it's going to be 8 for the first season. Hopefully the other seasons are longer, but 8 might be good enough.
I think 8 is a pretty good number in terms of a season of a show.
They're about hour long. I like 10 to
10
12. I prefer 10 to 12 for shows because then it gives you time to develop a little more story. Usually when you have 8 episode seasons, sometimes it could feel a little rushed towards the end of the season. But that's perfectly okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So since you brought it up, and we've covered some bases and some explanations.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
You're enjoying it.
I'm extremely enjoying it. It reminds me kind of like a Star Wars version of Firefly. So because it's a serious show, but it's not too serious, and it's not like serious like Star Wars movies, but it is good, and it has a baby Yoda.
A baby Yoda. Okay.
Yeah, which there's no explanation. There's no name for it yet. It hasn't been named in the show, nor do you know the Mandalorian's name at this point. They haven't said his name. They only refer to him as the Mandalorian, but he has a name because once again he is not. He is a Mandalorian, not the only one.
You know what? Thank you for saying that because that brings me back to the original question that I had, which is what's the name of the title? Shouldn't it be the Mandalorians?
No, because it's about
plural?
well, it's It's about him. It's about him, and people, because he doesn't tell people his name, people refer to him as the Mandalorian when it comes to bounty hunters. Yeah. So
okay. So it's this one Mandalorian.
Yes.
And this Mandalorian has a Baby Yoda.
Well, he does now. I don't really want to go into the whole plot of the show for people who haven't seen it and are planning on seeing it, because there's a way that Baby Yoda comes into the show and choices in life are made.
Well, okay, in this day and age, would you say that if anybody's interested in this show and has not seen it yet, would they not be aware of this Baby Yoda?
Oh, they'd be aware of Baby Yoda, but they might not understand where it comes from.
Right.
What
more details.
What the driving force is behind it, like the whole dynamic between the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda.
Okay. All right. So you're enjoying it so far?
Oh yeah, I'm extremely enjoying it. I'm excited to go home today and watch episode 5.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
No, I haven't. It comes out early in the morning, and I don't watch it before.
You don't wait up and stay up at night to catch it?
I'm an old man. I don't do that.
Thank you for saying it. Yes. Otherwise, I would say it. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then what do you feel like? Okay, so you have Disney Plus.
Yes, I got 3 years at that D23 special introductory price, where I paid for the full 2 years and got the third year free when you actually do the math on it.
Okay.
It's only like $3 or $4 a month for it, and it has been great.
Okay.
It's been fun.
Did you get it for this series? Specifically for this series?
Partially.
And what are you going to do when it's done? When this show is done?
When this show is done, there's other things on there to watch. I mean, it's really cool because with small kids in the house, little kids in the house, and it's great to be able to show them cartoons that I grew up with that they've never experienced, full series. They have all of the 80s and 90s, one Disney Afternoon series on there, Rescue Rangers, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, even Gummy Bears, which predates all of that, which is a Disney Channel show that I used to enjoy as a kid.
Yeah, me too.
They have not all, they have a lot of the Disney through the ages, so they have like 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and then 80s, 90s, 2000s Disney cartoons. So the cartoons that I watched as reruns from the 40s and 50s as a kid, I can now show to my children because they're not normally played on like the Disney Channel.
Yeah, I understand.
And plus all the movies. Like my daughters had never seen Robin Hood, so we watched Robin Hood. Yeah,
oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. So we watched Robin Hood.
That's great.
And Jeff Goldblum. His show is on there too.
Okay, we'll have to circle back to that.
Yeah.
So this is great that you gave a great explanation about Disney, or what is it called?
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Thank you. So let's circle back to the Mandalorian. Then we'll talk about Disney Plus, and then we'll talk about the Jeff Goldblums. So who I'm in love with, Jeff Goldblum. If you ever listen to the show, I love you. Please come to the show and talk about stuff with us.
Yes.
Anyways, so. Okay, you knew about this Mandalorian show was going to be on the Disney Plus, right? Okay, so do you think that this is like the only thing that is being developed in terms of like Star Wars lore on this show, on this platform?
I don't know.
There's no hint about anything else?
There's not. There was originally plans to do different movies after the last, after Rise of the Skywalker. Rise of the Skywalker or Rise of Skywalker? I think it's Rise of the Skywalker.
I think so too.
Yeah. So after that movie, there was supposed to be an Obi-Wan movie, and then the next trilogy was supposed to start.
But these are movies.
These are movies. These are theatrical movies. Releases. But now they have stopped the Obi-Wan movie, and I'm wondering if something like that will be developed into a movie for Disney Plus or a show or a mini-series, but I'm not sure what's going to happen with that.
Okay, great, because that's leading to my next question. Do you feel like, that this platform should be or will be the method that Disney is going to be releasing Star Wars-related content?
Not only. Disney loves theatrical releases. Disney will always do theatrical releases, I think, for the big movies, for the major Star Wars, the major Disney princess movies, which, real quick, I just want to say I find it funny how Disney says we're done with princess movies, but then makes Frozen and Frozen 2. We'll talk about that later.
That's not a princess movie. That's not a princess movie. Frozen.
They're princesses.
No.
Elsa and Anna are princesses.
Elsa's a queen.
And Anna's a princess.
Anna is a princess. Yeah.
But Elsa was a princess when the movie started. We're getting off topic here.
That's another one we have to circle back to. Okay. All right.
But it's just even if it's not Star Wars, there's other stuff for other people coming out on there, like Phase. What is it for Marvel? Phase whatever number. I'm not super into the whole Marvel. Well, I watch the Marvel movies, but like. They're creating Marvel shows. What If will be on there. I think Winter Soldier and Falcon is a show that's on there. And then yeah, I think just those two are going to be TV shows in lieu of, Daredevil, Punisher, that were on Netflix, but on Disney Plus. So I feel they'll go more with Star Wars. They have to. There's so much they can expand on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it seems like this is like where, as I asked before, like this is going to be the way that they're going to deliver this type of media, or at least content related to this whole Star Wars universe. Now let me ask you this question. Now why would you think that they would make this Mandalorian series and not make another movie? What's the difference in delivery method for these movies that we've had and grew up with and love, and why do a show what are they trying to accomplish here? I mean,
to sell you Disney Plus.
So do you think that they made this whole Mandalorian series into a segmented episodic show just to sell,
to have content to compete
Disney
with
Plus,
the Netflix?
Which is then it brings me back to my question of, do you think this is going to be the way that they're going to deliver Star Wars related content?
I think it's part of it. I don't think it's all of it. I don't think they're going to abandon movies ever for Star Wars, because the big theatrical movies will always come for the main. I think what will happen is this will be a way for them to get more of the subset stories or the less mainline stories to the audience, much like they did with the cartoons over the years. The cartoons were a way to fill in gaps between movies, and I feel this is a way that they might use it for this.
Information,
yes, more information about characters that you'll have the characters in there, but there'll be sub characters in it. They won't be the main focus. They'll focus on other people like the Mandalorian.
I do believe that's what they did with the animated Tron series.
Oh yeah, that was so good.
That was the place to get all of the story that happened. I think before
the movie
Legacy.
And then before after Tron, right before Legacy. Mm-hmm. I believe it starts right before Legacy, and I think it might even a couple of the episodes might coincide. Yeah. I haven't watched it since that was released on television, but I absolutely did love that show. Because I like Tron.
Yeah. Which is another Disney title.
Yeah.
See, I think that's adding to the fact that these series seem to be better for these types of content, because it gives you more information. It gives you more character development. It gives you more to watch instead of waiting half a year now for a 2-hour movie.
It's more. It's a year.
You can wait about let's say. I just started watching Stranger Things, but I wonder what the gap was between the seasons.
It was 1 year from season 1 to 2, a year and a half from season 2 to 3. Then season 3 to 4, we're not sure yet because they haven't released. They haven't announced a release date.
If I'm not mistaken, like I just recalled right now with how you just explained that. If I'm not mistaken, back when I was younger, I used to wait for the Batman movies to come out. I remember Michael Keaton, Batman, and from Michael Keaton's Batman to Batman Returns. Still with Michael Keaton, I think it was about a year gap between those two, and I remember waiting that time for this, just to get a 2-hour movie. Whereas, now you with this ability to stream content, immediately, or at least with these episodes being released weekly.
Well, yeah, that does bring up the whole point, the binge versus the weekly release.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So like, is where Stranger Things dumps everything day one, and if you want to sit there for 10 hours. Go be that person and finish it that first day, but now you have 365 more days minimum to wait.
But that's the same thing with watching a movie, though.
Or watching a television show. Television shows have off time, like a season ends of a television show and the next season starts up the next year.
Right, because
it just depends on how you prefer the delivery method. Really.
Yeah. Which it seems like they're going away from these movies and now going towards this episodic type of release.
I don't think they're going away from the movies at all, though, because we have Rise of the Skywalker, and then we have no in-between movie now because it was before we had Rogue One and then Solo in between the other two. But then we have a brand new trilogy starting. A new trilogy in the Star Wars universe that has nothing to do with the Skywalkers, which makes me a little happy. I'm a little sad because the movie's going to be emotional. I will cry during Rise of the Skywalker. But because it's the end of my childhood. Think of it that way. Like, I've been such a fan of Star Wars since I was a little kid till now, and this giant saga that's taken up 38 years of my life now is ending. I know there's going to be more and something new with new characters, which is fine, but like the characters you know and the part of the universe you know is ending. So it'll be a little sad, but I'm also happy to be able to find out more about different characters, and maybe there's other things in the Star Wars universe that will be more interesting to me than this one small group of people.
But isn't your love for all this content, isn't it just based off of the movies? I mean, I've never heard you mention like the books or.
No, I've never read the books. It's all based off of the movies.
But you have a lot more to another resource to get more information about the series that you love so much. Why wouldn't you do there? Time.
Yes, time. Yes.
Okay.
Time. Takes a while to read a book.
Well, then,
Time's
okay.
limited,
With that as well, then I guess is that why you're saying you like the more of a theatrical release because it's a lot less time, devoted as opposed to waiting for this content to release?
No, it's not that. It's more the level of movie storytelling is a very unique thing that's awesome because you have a limited time.
Yeah.
And you have to get a plot, a theme, rising action, falling action, a conclusion all down. And
within
pace
2
it
hours.
And pace it properly within 2 hours.
Yeah.
And done right, it's a beautiful thing. As we're a television show, it's like, well, we have 10 hours this year. Pacing can be completely different. You can rush things in some episodes and slow things down in other episodes. There's more, I guess, wiggle room for how your story develops, right? So I guess that's what I like about the theatrical releases is because you get it's like a punch in the mouth of what's happening in this universe. As where a weekly episodic one, it's like you just get a little taste every week.
Yeah,
and it's good. I like them both, but I just prefer the movies because also movies will get more funding. Movies will have more time to do post-production because they don't have to have a weekly release. So you'll get these movies that just look amazing and the stories are amazing, and they'll have more time to film, to redo a scene until it's right. As we're television, sometimes it's like, well, we've been at this for 3 days. We have something that will work.
I would see and agree with that if we were still back in 1990. I mean, I'm thinking right now of Stranger Things and the amount of like action in that season.
You could take outlier shows like Stranger Things or Game of Thrones that are just above and beyond what a normal television
but I mean,
show
I've
is.
seen like the graphics, the animation, the special effects that have been put forth on that, and that's movie quality.
And that's why those shows have a year in between them. And The Mandalurian looks great. I'm not saying The Mandalorian doesn't look great. The special effects in it are phenomenal. I'm just saying the feel of the show reminds me more of like an episodic like show like Firefly.
Like you said, Firefly.
Yeah, Firefly. Or even like not as cheesy as a Hercules or Xena, but that kind of show. Because they're going to parts of the galaxy that you don't see where people still live in huts. And like little rundown farms and stuff like that. So it's a little different. It doesn't feel grand like Star Wars does yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I was just about to ask you to perhaps delve more into it, but you did say that you don't want to give any spoilers about what's going on.
Yeah, the story is it's a phenomenal story. Jon Favreau's written and directed this.
Jon Favreau?
Yeah. And
Happy,
yeah.
From the Iron Man series? Wow.
Or what's his name from Swingers? I can't remember what he's called in Swingers.
Oh, I don't know. He was also in Friends, too.
He was the MMA guy.
Yes.
He was the guy dating Monica?
Yeah.
Got the name.
Courtney
Cox.
Courtney Cox's character? Yeah, right? Yeah.
He was the billionaire who went into MMA.
Yeah. Wow, he's writing
and directing.
Writing and directing. Okay.
I believe he's writing and directing, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Yeah. Then with the series so far, is it... So you're in episode 5, and you said it's going to be 8.
Yeah, I have 5, 6, 7, and 8.
So that means this is going to go past the series is going to go past the release of the Rise of the Rise of Last Skywalker, or what is it called?
Rise of the Skywalker.
Rise of the Skywalker.
I believe that's what it is.
If anybody, this is your first time listening to a podcast, Nick is a big fan of the Star Wars. I am not.
No. You like Star Trek. No, I'm just joking. That's too mean.
What? Why? I remember watching Star Trek when I was younger. Yeah, and I used to always like watching Voyager, and it seems like nobody likes Voyager for some reason. I don't know.
I don't like any Star Trek really.
Anyways. I'm just remembering really quick. I'm just remembering a joke from Mission Hill. Did you ever watch Mission Hill?
Yeah, I liked Mission Hill.
Yeah, Mission Hill, where two of the nerdy boys were arguing about Captain Kirk and Picard. And the other third nerdy boy said, well, Captain Janeway, and they both turned to him and told him to shut up because...
That's from Voyager, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Janeway was the captain from Voyager, yeah. Okay, anyways, short little love message to Mission Hill. Thank you, guys. All right, so back to Mandalorian. You can't give any details.
Well, I could give you all the details, but I don't want to.
You don't want to?
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. It just feels wrong.
No, you're right. You're right. And it's not like I'd probably go over my head.
Yeah, it would go over your head, and then. But if someone was like interested, who's listening to this, and like, hey, I was going to watch that. Well, then I don't want to give away too much where it's just like...
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But let me ask you this. Do you think that this story that they're going with, I mean, I'm guessing this has nothing to do with like the books and, actually hearing from Sean, who did a podcast with us, our Star Wars podcast, he said that this is the first time that a Yoda-like creature has ever been shown, created, written, existed.
Not true.
Not true?
I believe in...
I'm inclined to believe Sean.
I know. I believe in it's... I want to say Rise of the Sith. When they're sitting at a Jedi Council, I believe there is a female Yoda-like creature in that scene. Doesn't have any speaking lines, but I believe is sitting near Yoda in that scene of the Jedi Council.
Are you sure you're not thinking about the end of Gremlins 2 where there's that female gremlin?
No. I'm pretty sure there was another Yoda creature shown in the background. Not developed, but shown, at least on screen. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Sean, when you listen to this,
yeah, Sean, comment and correct us, please. Yeah. Okay, so this storyline, do you think it has anything to do with the plot of the movie that's coming out, or do you even know what the plot of the movie is? I don't know.
No, I try to stay away. I watch the trailers. And I tried not to put too much in the trailers and overanalyze it because I want to be surprised.
Yeah.
But I will say this does take place 5 years after Episode 6, so the fall of the Empire. Yeah, so the Empire has fallen, and this is post-fall of the Empire, pre-Rise of the New Order.
Sure. I don't really know what that means.
So Darth Vader's the Empire. Kylo Ren, Adam Driver in the new 3 movies, their group is called the New Order. Like the band. Blue Monday.
Sure.
So it's
that I get.
It's the transition. It's the fall of the. It's like the fall of the government, leading probably into the rebuild of the next version of the galactic government.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I will tell that. So at least I could place the show where it is. Yeah.
Okay. So does this Mandalorian have anything to do with this movie?
Don't
or
know
do you
yet.
think the movie has?
What I have heard is, I can't remember if it was Jon Favreau or someone came out and said that within these first episodes of The Mandalorian, there will be a spoiler for the movie, if you catch it or not. I have no idea what it is.
Okay.
I haven't caught it, or maybe when I see the movie, I'll be able to look back and say, oh, I should have got that. Or maybe they're just doing that to hype people up to make them go see the movie. I don't know what it is, but it's within the same... It's within the same timeline. It could very well. There could be a character from this that is in the last movie.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. So there's only 2 weeks left or 2 more episodes until the release of the movie.
This and then 2 more.
Yeah.
Because one will come out the day of the movie.
Is that a Friday? Is it coming out on a Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Now, given your love for the series and what the Mandalorian's giving you, would you have preferred that this was something more? I mean, because Disney Plus has just launched. Yeah. They're doing a I imagine this is mainly live actions and not CG, right?
No, it's both.
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda. A lot of the ships, a lot of the creatures are CG. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying this because Clone Wars was an animated series.
Yeah.
Right. But this is live action.
This is live action.
Real actors, right? So, would you have preferred something that was like a build up to this? Because it kind of makes more sense that Disney Plus was a brand new thing. Disney's giving you everything Star Wars, and they could have satisfied. I imagine they could have satisfied that aching hankering for more Star Wars content for this this great movie that's coming out. That's going to be the last part of this epic conclusion to this whole Skywalker shebang.
Yeah.
And they're doing something apart from it, or whereas they could have done something that was closely associated to it, or they could have done like a whole build up to it.
Well, they put it to you this way: Clone Wars was done after Episode 3 came out.
Clone Wars was done after Episode 3 came out.
So, Episode 1 was Phantom Menace. Episode 2 was Attack of the Clones. Episode 3 was Revenge of the Sith. Okay?
Uh-huh. These are the first 3 movies.
These are the first 3 movies in chronological order, not in filmed order. In filmed order, it's New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi.
Right, the movies from the 70s.
Yes, the movies from the 70s, 80s.
The movies from the
90s, 2000s.
Uh-huh.
So Clone Wars, the TV show, was made after all 3 movies were made, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the animated series.
Yeah, the animated series was, but the animated series actually takes place sometime in between episodes 2 and 3. So don't think that this is the last time we're going to see this. The Skywalker or this whole saga. There will be things done, I believe, in this same universe, closely tied after the movie's over.
So you think there'll still be, productions, books maybe,
or books or television shows or cartoons within that era, within that part of the universe.
Oh, okay. So
I don't think this is the true end, but I know theatrically this is the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wow, that was an awful lot of talking about the Star Wars. Mm-hmm. And I think we've, I don't know, I'm still,
yeah.
I mean, okay, great that you're enjoying The Mandalorian and you're hyped for the movie.
Yes, of course.
And you've been avoiding spoilers. That's great.
Yeah.
Do you plan to watch it the day of?
No, I'll probably watch it. I'm starting my vacation the day of, so I'll probably watch it that following Monday.
Okay, so you can try to avoid the crowds?
Yeah, I like, especially with 2 small kids going to the movie theater, I try to avoid the crowd. So I'll probably take in a matinee Monday or Tuesday the following week. It'll be easy to avoid spoilers considering I'm not coming into work or I'll just be at my house. So yeah.
Understandable. Do you know what the rating is for that movie actually?
No.
No?
Probably PG.
But they've never
PG-13.
been R.
No, they've never been pirate movies.
Yeah.
R.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then, do you think? Do you own all of them on like you own them now with Disney Plus,
Disney
right?
Plus, yes, I own them all, but actual physical media, I own all of the ones that matter. I don't own 1, 2, and 3. I can't ever put myself to giving money for that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just sorry, George Lucas. I don't like him very much. They kind of disappointed me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. December 20th is the release date of this movie. I wonder if I imagine it'll be like midnight showings
on the 19th.
On the 19th. Yeah. Star Wars. Yeah. You'll see it eventually. We'll have to do a follow up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where again I will be like, huh?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
A lightsaber.
Yes. It's not a heavy saber. It's a lightsaber.
Oh wow. And then okay, and then maybe we'll have a follow up to the Mandalorian. So maybe we could discuss the ending to it, probably, right?
Yeah, or
something.
Yeah, something about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Real quick before we move on to other things, a couple things I'd like to do here. I'd like to say you are missing out on Disney Plus for the Jeff Goldblum show.
Right, which you mentioned.
It is fabulous. If you like Jeff Goldblum and you like to watch Jeff Goldblum unscripted being Jeff Goldblum talking about weird stuff, this is it. This is the show for you. It is so enjoyable. It puts a smile on my face to watch because he is so energetic and eccentric, and it's just phenomenal. I knew it was coming out when they were launching Disney Plus, and I was interested in it. And once I watched that first episode, I thought, maybe it's just something I'll watch occasionally here and there. But after watching that first episode, just like The Mandalorian being released on Fridays, they also release a Jeff Goldblum episode. So I have 2 things. They also have another documentary series called Imagineering, The Imagineering Story, which is awesome. But this is all if you're into Disney, this is great. It's fun. But I just wanted to throw that out there that you should try to borrow someone's Disney Plus, get Disney Plus on a discount when they have it on sale, just to at least watch the Jeff Goldblum stuff, because I think you will thoroughly enjoy it and have a smile from ear to ear watching it.
Well, I have already expressed my love for Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
As soon as you started talking about this, it reminded me of the most iconic scene for me for Jeff Goldblum. Sorry, the first thing that comes to my mind is the scene when he's first shown in Earth Girls Are Easy.
I knew you were going to go there. For some reason, I had a feeling you were going to pick that.
When
you hang out with someone way too long.
Julie Brown shows that they just been shaved.
Yeah.
Jim
Carrey and Damon Wayans.
Damon Wayans, yes, thank you. When they all got their reveal, and the big reveal for Jeff Goldblum in the middle of the salon, and that's a great scene for him. Jeff Goublum, I Wish I Was You. That's the first thing I started thinking of when you said that. And that's funny that you knew that I was going to say that too. Mm-hmm. I will try to watch it. I will try.
Yeah.
What can I say? I just, I don't know. People, another coworker of ours is always saying, why don't you get it? It's only $6.99 if I'm not getting that wrong.
I believe it's $6.99.
Yeah, and my constant response is, well, do you know how many chicken sandwiches I can get for $6.99? That's a lot.
7.
5 and a drink.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but it's just it's just something that I unfortunately just can't get right now. Although not that I wouldn't love the content, like you already mentioned some of the stuff right there that I grew up with as well. Yeah. The Gummy Bears, I love that series. We've talked about Jeff Goublum again. You're on my mind.
It's like being John Malkovich for you, but with Jeff Goublum.
Yeah.
Goublum.
Yeah. What I was trying to say is Darkwing Duck. All those great cartoons growing up. There was another one too that was it was Daffy Duck and the 3 boys, but they were older. Like it was like a Quack
Pack. It was called.
Quack Pack. Yeah, that was
I don't know if that's on there. I haven't looked for that.
Oh, really?
That's like early 2000s. So that's like at the end of the Disney Afternoon, whatever.
Yeah. I remember that one. Yeah. Disney Plus. I don't know. Disney, please give me a free subscription, and I'll gladly watch content.
Disney give you free equals never.
Nothing. That's all right. Well, this is my request. So give me a free subscription, and I'll gladly talk about content weekly and promote your shows.
So. Can we just go do a quick rundown of movies that have come out, like that you've seen or you want to see?
I have not seen anything in a long time.
Dang,
it's really hard for me to go see movies, at least off the top of my head.
Or if you liked it or not,
Gosh, I don't know.
Last movie you watched was 3 O'Clock High.
That on TV, yeah. I do love that movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if perhaps you can take the mic for a second. Let me think about this.
Yeah. So that's what I talk about. Some movies have come out. Frozen 2 came out. It was good. It was enjoyable. It was funny. It wasn't. I mean, it's hard to be as good as the first movie, but I thought it was a solid movie. I know some people have a problem with the pacing of the movie and how compartmentalized certain parts of the movie felt, but I thought it was a good movie that made me laugh and it was enjoyable. I know you haven't seen it yet. No. Frozen 2. Are you planning on seeing it?
I would like to see it.
Yeah.
My wife has expressed interest in taking the kids to see it.
Yeah.
I would love them to see it.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I got to say the last movie I saw in theaters was Endgame.
Oh, that's sad.
I'm pretty sure that it was Endgame.
Yeah. I saw It Chapter 2 since the last time we talked.
Okay.
That was good. Once again, we've had the horror movie discussion. I like the original It, but the remakes that they've done for Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 are just phenomenal. And if I had a preference of which one I was going to sit down and, hey, you're going to sit down and spend 3 to 6 hours, which one are you going to watch? I'm going to watch the new one right now because it's really good. And I think it portrays a lot of what couldn't be done back in the day on basic television. Mm-hmm. So it gets across a lot of the scary part. And it's, I haven't read the book yet. My wife has, and it's closer to the book, she says. So that's also pretty cool. Other movies that are there.
Movies that have come out recently. I actually heard that Terminator: Dark Fate actually did very, very poorly.
I didn't even know it came out. I thought it hadn't come out yet.
No, I've noticed that I haven't seen commercials for it
or advertisements. So
yeah,
I'll watch it when it. So I'll watch that when it comes out on HBO pay-per-view, whatever.
Yeah, eventually.
I'll watch it. Yeah.
I remember seeing. One of the older Terminator movies with that actress, I think her name was like Blood Moon or something like that, and Christian Bale was in it.
Oh, you mean
it was,
the John Connor one? The one where Christian Bale still does the Batman voice as John Connor, and it's really annoying.
Yes.
That was a really bad movie.
I remember. I'm pretty sure. I think I saw that in theaters. I think I did.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Sorry you wasted your money.
That wasn't a good one. And I don't know. There was such a great. Magic that was done in the second movie in Terminator 2, Judgment Day, and I think after that, they just couldn't capture that magic again.
No, and I doubt this one will. I'm interested to see it because one of the actresses in the movie was in this TV show called *Halt and Catch Fire* with Lee Pace that was on AMC that I thought was just a fabulous show that I avoided for like the first 2.5 seasons. As my wife was like, "You should watch this. You should watch this." I'm like, yeah. And then we finally sat down and I binge watched it to catch up so I could watch more of it. And it was a fabulous show, and she did a really good job in that. So I'd like to see her as in movies. She was the prostitute in the Blade Runner 20.
The remake.
Yeah,
with,
no, not the remake. The sequel.
The sequel?
The sequel with Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
It is a sequel to Blade Runner.
Ryan Reynolds? I thought it was Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling,
Yeah,
sorry.
Ryan Gosling,
They all look alike.
No, they don't.
Yeah, Ben Affleck.
They are both handsome men.
They're both too handsome. I can't look
Yes.
him in the face to tell them apart. How about that?
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, so she was in that.
Anyways.
So I'm excited to see how
so she's
good a
in
job
this,
she does. Yeah.
And the original actress, gosh, I can't remember her name for the life of me right now. From the
yeah, she's in it too.
She's in it too.
Yeah.
You know, I always thought she did a great job, and I don't know, and also Arnold is in this too, I believe,
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate to hear that they couldn't. Once again, they couldn't recapture that magic.
Yeah.
As I just mentioned earlier today, that I did finally watch Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And season 3, the character that was so much similar to the Terminator. I mean, I think they were mimicking him on purpose.
The Russian guy?
Yeah.
The Russian enforcer guy?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I was
Not
trying
Alexei.
No, not Alexei, but the one that
Rest
was
in
coming.
peace, Alexei.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
He went to go get a corn dog. He walked
Yeah.
away from Murray. Just walked away
And
from
he
a
won.
second.
Yeah, Murray walked
he
away to
won,
get a corn
yeah,
dog,
yeah.
and he won the thing. And yeah, it was
He
just so
won.
close.
Oh, it was the Woody Woodpecker doll.
Yes.
It was the giant Woody Woodpecker doll. I really liked that they brought in that character and they made him as if he was the Terminator, and they captured that same kind of like as I've heard, as the director mentioned to Arnold, you are a shark. You are after one thing, and I think he totally did that, and I really liked it that
cool.
that was brought in there.
Can I just say I'm really glad that you did watch all 3 seasons of Stranger Things after harassing you for years to watch this show.
Yeah.
I'm glad you finally did, because
I'm
it's
glad
one
I
of
did
those
too.
shows that I really enjoy, and it's just
It
something
was
nice
good.
to talk about.
It was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, when season 4 comes out, we'll have a nice podcast on that now.
Oh, we totally should.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
We definitely will do that.
Yeah, okay. You know what? That's a good idea. We'll have to save some of the comments for that.
Yeah.
All right, some other movies that have come out.
Dr. Sleep?
Yeah, Dr. Sleep came out, which I do believe you did see, right?
No, I have not seen yet. I really want to see it. But with kids, it's hard to go see a horror movie in theaters.
Your wife is a big fan of the books?
Stephen King.
Oh, Stephen King.
Of Stephen
okay,
King.
Yeah.
So she's excited to see it. It's the sequel to The Shining, if you're not aware. And it just looks like it's good. I've heard good things about it from people who've seen it. So
Okay.
I'm really excited to see it myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know The Joker came out a couple months ago.
I haven't seen it yet. I
haven't
really
seen it
want
either.
to. It's one of those movies that people tell me that Joaquin Phoenix did such a good job in, and his performance was awesome and Oscar worthy. So I'm looking forward to finally getting a chance to see that. But just like when you have kids, rated R movies are a little harder to get to.
Right.
Especially without, childcare is not an easy thing. You can't just,
Yeah, and I don't even know what rated R movies I try to go see, because it's nearly impossible for me to get to the theater anyways.
Yeah.
But that's one thing that I do want to mention. That's one I want to watch eventually.
Yeah, I'm
Eventually.
gonna when it comes out on pay-per-view and I can watch it one night after the kids are asleep. I'm gonna spend the time to watch it.
Yeah.
It's just life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's any movies coming up now?
No, between now and the end of the year,
Other
it's
than
Star Wars.
Other than Star Wars,
That's the big one.
That's the big one,
Yeah.
right? Gosh, I don't
Thanksgiving's big one was
I heard
Frozen.
What? Oh, Frozen 2.
Yeah.
I've heard there's a bit of a backlash and people are not happy with the trailer for Black Widow.
I haven't watched that. But
you haven't watched the trailer.
I've only seen part of the trailer, and the part of the trailer I saw, it was freaking Hopper.
Yeah.
Dressed up as some guy, some communist superhero, and
Yeah.
I had no interest in the movie. But now that I saw that, I'm like, I'm interested in that part. Can we just cut those parts out and deliver it to me?
Well, I saw a video that there's a bit of a backlash for that character being and gosh, they mentioned the name of the hero. that
Yeah,
he
I
is.
can't remember.
I
his
can't
name.
recall.
Someone told me when I said, "Who is that?" and they gave me the name.
Yeah.
and I can't remember.
There's a bit of a backlash because the fans feel like they're doing fat shaming again, like they did with Thor in the Endgame
they did
movie.
do fat shaming with Thor and Endgame. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, which they did. They made him the butt of a lot of jokes
Yeah.
because he was fat. Whereas the actor that's doing the hero, the Hopper. Gosh, I can't remember his name either.
Yeah, I can't remember his actual name, but I'll just call him Hopper because I'm really bad with people's names. I'm good with characters.
Yeah, he's playing this character and he's overweight and like he's trying to show that he can still hold his own, but he's being put in these situations where he's like oh, he's the fat guy. It's funny because he's fat.
Fall down, fatty.
Yeah, and people are like you think these studios would have realized their mistake and they wouldn't have done this again, but here they are, and they're giving them a lot of grief for it. Where it's like, I don't know, I feel like they're just trying to show that this character has aged, and sometimes you don't stay as fit as you do, but you can still fight as well as you used to, and I think that's what they're just trying to show. With that character.
We'll find out when the movie comes out because it's hard. It's hard to take a trailer and base what's going to happen.
True,
so,
very true.
Knee-jerk reactions are something to be said.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to watch that anyways.
Yeah, I'm not big into the whole. Like I've said, you're more of a like I used to like Marvel comic books and I still like reading comic books, but the movies to me have kind of just become like, I don't know. You just know they're going to happen, and they're all going to be the same quality, and there's nothing that really stands out to me. I was not the biggest fan of Endgame. I just felt it was kind of just it was a fan service movie, which is fine, but it just felt too long. And for me, since I don't need the fan service of a Marvel movie, so I'm kind of just over. Like I stopped watching the Netflix Marvel series at some point because I was just over so much. Just it's all good. None of it's bad content or bad movies or bad TV shows. It's just they get a little predictable, I guess, and what's going to happen. It's just kind of like that. And I'm sure other people who aren't as big fans of Star Wars can say the same thing to me about Star Wars, and that's perfectly fine because that's your opinion. I'm not upset at anyone for that, but that's just the way I feel about it.
Okay. Yeah. I know for me personally, the reason why I'm not too interested in seeing this movie is I have a bit of a pet peeve when a period piece or a location piece movie, like when they're in this location but everybody's speaking English with an accent instead of speaking the native language and just having subtitles.
Well, because it would be hard to sell a 2.5-hour movie in Russian as a superhero movie to an American audience. I'm just telling you the truth.
I would much rather have the realism.
You would.
Yes, I would.
I'm saying you
That's what I'm saying.
would.
It's a pet peeve.
Yeah,
it's a pet peeve of mine because I want.
You're in the minority on that.
I know. I am. Yeah. Where it's which is funny too because I was just thinking about this morning where it's like there's a big debate about anime dubbed versus subbed, whereas people will pick their sides, sure. Whereas I like the dubs because they introduce me to fantastic voice actors and actresses. Whereas if I didn't, not to say that the dubbed version or the subbed version wouldn't give me the same, but it's nice to know of actors here and actors over there as well. Whereas in this, it's like I don't know, if you have an actor, this whole movie is set in Russia, but everybody's speaking in like Russian accents, and they're not themselves not native Russian, and they can't get the accents down. Which is I heard is another complaint from the trailer.
It probably draws you out of the whole feel of the
yeah,
movie.
Exactly.
I get that. I do understand that.
And I don't understand why they put that strain on the actor as well.
They should have just had them speaking English in their normal voices or Russian. I get it. But trying to put the accent on it with that really bad, hokey, fake, everyone can do a fake Russian accent type thing.
I don't know. It's
real quick, back to dub versus subbed on anime.
Anime? Okay.
I prefer dubbed if the voice actors are good, and because for dubbed I can watch the action as where subtitles so much of the time I'm reading what's happening, my eyes will drift down to the bottom of the screen and I will miss things on screen that I probably should have caught. But there are shows that I like better subtitled, like the original Hellsing. The first, 13 episode one they did before they did Hellsing Extreme. I like that subbed over dubbed. I don't like the voice actors. Bleach, I like subbed versus dubbed because the voice acting on the Japanese ones fit the characters in my mind, and the American voices for that show I did not like at all. It just did not feel right for me. And then just some of the cultural differences, like the word Shinigami meaning like a death god is here. They weren't called death gods. They were called, I can't remember what they're called here, soul reapers or something like that. And it's just a really weird translation because of our Puritan roots. But that's that,
That's I could go on.
Yeah, we could go on to that for a while, but
that's one we definitely have to maybe touch on again. again. But hey, this is Winging It, so let's see what we just go on to next. Now, there's been a lot of releases in new video games, and and this past month we've had probably my most favorite release possible, and something I've been looking forward to for quite a long time.
Monster High game, right? A new Monster High game.
Monster High. What? No.
Barbie's dressing adventure came out, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah, you see what I'm doing? Yeah.
I see
No,
what you're
go into your game. Go.
No,
Go for it.
is Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon Sword and Shield. Thankfully, by my two great friends, Nick and Gio, I have a copy of it, and we're playing it on our Let's Play channel, and it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
David Beckham's even showed up.
David Beckham has been there. Yes,
he keeps showing up, man. The guy just likes us.
I'm super happy with it, even though I've only gone about 10 minutes into the game because I'm making the playthrough that we're doing a complete blind run.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So far, I've been ecstatic about it. And that's actually like the latest game I've ever played.
Yeah.
I saw like over the Christmas break there was a lot of stuff on sale, and I was
for Black
so
Friday?
tempted to get some of the stuff. Like
I was too, but I held off.
Yeah, I know, me too.
Yeah.
I saw like Shantae. I really like the Shantae titles. I wanted to get that. I wanted to get the Mega Man, the Mega Man,
the Legacy
collections.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Gosh, and there's just so much I want to play. Is there anything new that you've gotten your hands on?
Yeah. Beside Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, Luigi's Mansion.
Which,
yeah.
I have to thank Gio and Josh for getting me a copy of that. That was really nice of them because I'm a huge fan of Luigi's Mansion. That's been really fun.
It has been really fun.
We're playing on the channel. We just started multiplayer on the channel.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm playing that through by myself because I love collecting everything in those games, and for the channel, it's not something you want to sit there and watch me collect 7 gems from every floor. It gets a little tiresome.
There's 100% completion runs.
Yeah, but we're not that. We're not those guys.
Yeah,
we're not those guys. What else? I've been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight. I really enjoy Dead by Daylight. I'm actually playing it on the Switch, so I'm one of like the 35 people that plays it on the Switch. No, there's more people, but PC is the way to go. But being able to sit down at a PC is not something that I have the luxury of doing to play a game. So I've been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight. They just a week ago released their latest chapter 14, I want to say, which introduced a new killer and a new survivor, which brings new killer perks and new survivor perks. I was a little hesitant about the new killer being super strong when they did the reveal of him, and then they did like the early beta on PC, and I watched people play as the killer. He was a beast. He's an Oni, so he's like a giant Japanese troll with a sword, and then he gets into this enraged mode where he's faster and he can hit you with one shot and kill you with his giant club. And I was like, man, this is going to be so overpowered, it's not even going to be fun to play against. But I've played a handful of rounds against him since then, and either it's the learning curve of people learning how to play him, or the design of him is really well, but he is not, even though he's intimidating large on the screen as his presence is scary, he is not as overpowering as I thought.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Your play preference is what? As a survivor or as...
I play both, but I prefer survivor because killer is a really difficult thing to play in that game. People who are good at the killer in that game are amazing, and I appreciate them. And I appreciate going up against a really good killer because it makes me have to try to be even better in that game. But I prefer survivor because it's...
Why?
The teamwork aspect of it. I play with friends, so we're a survivor with friends group. So it's, we have a little bit of advantage of communication, is where if I play online with other people, it's kind of you're by yourself. But I just like the idea of the stealthiness of it and the objectiveness of it, because the objective is to start to repair 5 generators, open an exit gate, and leave. All you're trying to do is get out alive. And there's killers in the game. If you're not aware of the game, it's a 4v1 survival horror game, I guess. So 4 survivors versus 1 killer. Everyone's a real person, and you're put into maps, set maps, and you're just running around trying not to get knocked down by the killer and then put on a hook and sacrificed to the Dark Lord of the game or whatever. It's called the Entity, but there's not a lot right now about the lore of it, at least that I know of. But it's cool because they have their own unique killers, and then they also have licensed killers. So they have like Leatherface, Freddy, The Demogorgon from Stranger Things, Steve and Nancy are in there too as survivors. So there's all these people, so they bring in like real world people into it also, and it's nice.
So why would you think somebody would go to the latter as opposed to being a survivor?
Oh, because it's fun to be a killer. Like, I play as Michael Myers as a killer, and it is a blast because you have to stalk people to get your power up, and then you're just chasing people and knocking them down. It's really fun to be a killer too. It's just I'm not as good as it as I am as a survivor. And then when I play with friends, you can't play as a killer with friends unless you're doing like a private match, and private matches gain you no experience. So private matches are more just to like mess around. It's not serious. But if you're trying to progress your characters and get experience points to level up your characters, to give them new skills, new items, you want to, even playing with friends, you want to play against a random person as a killer. But like when I'm playing by myself, I'll probably say it's 60-40, 60 survivor, 40% killer. And it's just a fun game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those games that I was kind of hesitant on getting, and then when I played it, I was like, yeah, this is a good game. Yeah.
No, it's interesting to hear because I mean, you've discussed before with our horror podcast, horror movie podcast.
Yeah.
You like that type of genre.
Mm-hmm.
You've explained that you have a favorite type. What is
Slasher.
Who's it that you play as? Mike Myers.
I play as Mike Myers.
Mike
in that
Myers,
game,
yeah. Because you have I guess is your favorite.
No, he's not. He's not my favorite. He's just so far been the most fun to play.
I recently
unlocked the Cannibal, who is a Leatherface. I haven't got a chance to try him out yet, and Pig from Saw. The Pig from Saw. So I haven't had a chance to try out those killers yet, but I just really like the stalkingness of Michael Myers. It feels like they got his character right, as in Michael Myers from the movie, and I actually really enjoy that little touch. As where Michael Myers would stare at his victims for a while. So in this one, you stare at your victims to power up your gauge so that you can actually attack people.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice little turn. And they're going to release Freddy eventually for the Switch. He's on PC and all the other platforms, and I can't wait to play as Freddy because Freddy's my favorite.
Okay, so that's interesting. So then, would you say that this game is sort of like the programmer's love letter to these so-called quote unquote heroes of these titles?
No, it's.
I mean, because you're saying you like the development of Michael Myers and how you play as him because it's a representation of him from the movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, something like that takes dedication, research,
the team
and
behind
development.
it. The game's not perfect. The game has issues. There's balance issues in games like these always. There'll always be balance issues, especially because it's a living, breathing game where they're always introducing new content and new tweaks to perks and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's one of those things that I really appreciate. It's this studio out of Montreal called Behavior. And I think for a small studio to do a game like this, they do a great job. And they seem like, even though everything's not always perfect, they're always trying. Their heart's in the right place always, even though, the game's not 100% perfect, but it is so fun to play as a game. It's just, for me, it's a really fun game to play.
Okay. I will let you, just to let the audience know, I have tried it.
Yeah.
I played a single round as a survivor, and I did not enjoy it one bit.
Yeah.
It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, and so, but for me, the gameplay is what I was looking for at the time, and, there are games like that. We've had this before. Like, I'm a huge fan of Monster Hunter games, and that play style just doesn't work for you. But for me, that's definitely something I really enjoy. So, Well, but outside of that, for games, I mean, I know that you and I have recently, over the last couple of days, tried out the good old VR.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Thanks to a friend of ours, a coworker of ours, that we were able to try PlayStation VR.
PlayStation VR, yeah.
And we got to try a couple titles. Super Hot, right?
Yeah, Super Hot's really fun.
Super Hot is so much fun. What is the
Resident Evil 7?
Resident Evil Biohazard, yes.
Resident Evil 7.
Biohazard 7, yes.
We're not going to get sued by the band Biohazard because of you.
And what else did we try? What's the name of that rail?
It was
Blood Rain?
Until Dawn Blood Rush.
Oh, Blood Rush. There you go.
It's a rail.
Yeah,
a rail shooter.
Yeah,
but where you're not a rail shooter isn't the typical like overkill. You're literally on a roller coaster rail. So it is the definition. Yeah,
I could have sworn House of the Dead 3 or 4 on the Wii was like that. I think you were literally on a rail.
Oh,
so
you could see like you were on a rail.
Yeah,
right? Okay, that's good.
I think so. Gosh, I don't know. It's been a long time since I played that one. And what else did we try on? on VR. I think that's it. But
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Beat Saber I tried once.
Oh, you tried Beat
Yeah,
Saber.
I tried Beat Saber.
Didn't get to try that.
That is interesting. It's like Guitar Hero with lightsabers. It's weird. Yeah.
Okay, so I never got to play Guitar Hero.
Okay. I played a lot of Guitar Hero.
I'm a big fan of DDR. So I was hoping that when I do get to try it, I'll
it's like
get to
that,
enjoy
but with
it.
your arms instead of your legs.
Right. Yeah. To go back to the most funnest title that we got to try, which is Super Hot.
Yeah.
That game is amazing.
It is. It really is. I knew about it when it came out on Steam, and people went crazy for it. The craze kind of died down. And that was all just for playing it with either a keyboard and mouse or a controller looking at a flat screen.
Wow.
Playing that in VR is something else because
Yeah.
you're stationary. So I will say, like, the rail game we played, Blood Rush, a little bit of motion sickness because it's a bit much to catch up when your body's not moving, but your brain thinks it is, for me personally. Resident Evil 7 wasn't that bad, but there were times when I started to kind of feel it. But for Super Hot, I did not get that at all because you're stationary and everything's coming towards you instead of you having to go towards it.
I want to explain during your experience with Biohazard 7, where you were trying to find your way through the house. You were in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
You did the tape bit where you got to see the investigators. You didn't really experience anything other than that, right?
Yeah.
Then I soon tried it after you.
And picked up my game where I left off.
And I got the interaction with the girl.
The girlfriend.
The girlfriend.
Yeah.
I think her name is Nancy, maybe?
No. Lori.
Or Mia? Mia. I think it was Mia.
I can't remember the name, but
I can't recall. Sorry. If you know what the name is, please comment below and show how inept you are.
Yes.
Because we just played this game and I can't remember.
Yeah.
But anyways, I had that interaction
where
with
she
her.
was attacking
yeah,
you.
Attacking me and everything. Now, as we discussed and showcased earlier, I am not a fan of these types of games or this type of genre. And she was in my face.
Yeah.
And
I kind of wish I would have kept it on a little longer to do that.
Experience that?
Because the game did a good job of making you feel uneasy in the VR, in the full VR, because you're going down hallways, but you don't know what's behind you, but you know if you turn your head around, something could be there. As where on a flat screen, you kind of forget that there is a behind you. When you're immersed in it, it's a different feeling. So it was really fun. I wanted to go further into it.
Before the attack from the girlfriend character, I recall just walking around the hall and I heard a noise coming down the hall, something knocking on the door, and it scared me.
Yeah.
And I was what is that? And then this made me think of Clock Tower actually. Whereas you're constantly traversing this house.
Just
and
imagine
you don't
Clock
know.
Tower
in
VR.
Yeah, VR. I did, and I peed my pants, and I'm not happy about that. And
then the bad man. Wait, I hate Brenda, and the bad man kicked me in the shin, and I peed my pants.
Penny for your thoughts, yes.
Penny for your thoughts.
So yes, we got to try that. I can't wait to try it again. Super Hot was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was frustrating when we failed the challenge, but I was noticing that it's so quick. You fail, you know what you did wrong. I mean, and you're just so quickly to get back into it and try again. And it's such a simple format that I love the fact that they didn't spend a lot of time trying to create something more beyond the fact of it's just trial and error.
Yeah.
Simple trial and error.
But it's good. It's a good trial and error. It's not one of those trial and errors where you're like, oh God, I have to go back through this.
Exactly.
It's one of those just one more time.
Yeah.
Hold on, just one more time.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go through this one more time.
I can do this. I know what I did wrong.
Yeah.
I can do it better.
Oh, if I turn here and pick this up instead of turning there, it'll be better. The outcome will be better. And it's slow incremental progression, and it's nice. Yeah.
There was a number of times where I turned. For those of you that haven't played the game, there's these other characters that are just simply shooting at you or coming at you, and there's a lot of times where I would turn because it's VR. It's all around you. It's 360, and your line of view is only what it's in front of you. There's a lot of times where I would turn and there was a bullet coming straight at me, straight in between my eyes.
Oh, and if you also haven't played the game doesn't move until you move.
Yeah, which is
so if you're standing still, the game is frozen, so you can look around, turn your head. But the second you move your hands again, the game starts moving with the time. Yeah. So if you move your hands for 1 second, the game is going to progress 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like bullet time. I think
Yeah,
that's what it's called,
kinda,
bullet time.
yeah.
Yeah. So you're in constant bullet time, so you can kind of figure out what your strategy is going to be.
Yeah. It's a
and
strategy first-person shooter.
Yeah, and whereas that was one thing that I had difficulties with is the controls, but I think that was more on my part than
Getting
less
used to them.
on,
I did notice
the
after I
system
got
itself.
used, after like 5 or 6 deaths, especially the ones where you have to pick up an item and throw it.
Yeah, that was
I figured out how, like, what a good way for me to throw the item the most accurately was, and then the game became a little more manageable.
And I actually did attempt. I don't know if you did this. I actually did attempt to close one of my eyes and actually aim.
Oh, I did. I tried that too. Yeah.
Did you try that?
Yeah.
Did you feel like you got where you were aiming?
Yes, I did. I felt I got where I was aiming, but then I would hold it, line it up where I did, and then open both eyes, and then see if I felt I needed to do any adjustment because I wasn't sure because it's VR if closing one eye totally breaks the whole. VR aspect of it, the whole 3D-ness of it, I'm not sure.
No,
so,
but it's interesting to think that they were able to create a scenario, an environment where you kind of actually have to do that. You have to line up these scopes, these sights, to see if you can aim true. Yeah. And I wonder if this is, and also afterwards, after my experiences with this game, I was wondering if this is like or if this was inspired by officer training, because I know they have like those types of. Have you ever seen those training for officers where they'll put them in a room and there'll be screens where they have to actually act?
Oh, like in the old days, they would have the pop-ups, like in the Police Academy movie?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay,
yeah, where I've seen the ones now where they'll.
You can tell my level of cop knowledge when I reference Police Academy movies.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's pretty much that. It's a 3D version of that where you have to act. Instantaneously. You have. Well, actually, this is the reverse of it, where you have time to think. Yeah. But it's curious to think of like this is what you do because it's trial and error. Yeah. You have to figure your way out of the scenario. Whereas I imagine that's how cops get trained as well. This is the scenario. You got to have the best outcome of it. And so I was like, wow, I feel like I just went through cop training. Something cool like that. Super Hot, great game. Please, makers of Super Hot, please give us a free copy, and I'll play it. And give great reviews because I totally enjoy it. Super Hot, please give me free stuff. So what should we move on to next in this episode 1 of Winging It?
I don't know. Whatever. That's.
I think that's pretty much
that's
good.
It, I think,
Good conversation. Good topics. It's been a while since we've been able to do a podcast, and I'm super happy that we did get to do one. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get back Eddie in here to get his points of view on anything that he wants to talk about.
Yeah, and hopefully we can keep this up a little more consistent.
Yes.
I really enjoy this.
I enjoy this too. It was a great talk. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for everybody for listening, and this has been Retro Lunch Break, Winging It, Episode 1. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Retro Lunch Break.